to a frustration between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown derail the season? What is the media and the fans saying about this situation? And are we on the brink of another epic collapse? I got the coldest candle in the game. Me, Michael C, the source of life over the mic. You already know what to do. Cue music. Let's make this epic. Welcome to the Skybox, where we give our epic perspective in the imperfect sports world. Now let me introduce you to the coach and win the game. He's back. He came back, y'all. He was in the trenches. He was in the trenches with me for a while. He jumped back in the trenches with me now. My guy, only one word. Mama, what's good with your guy?
Yo, Spinnerella, mix it one more time, baby. How's everybody doing?
My guy. He's back. I just seen him. He's on them fields. He's on all fields when it comes down to it. It doesn't matter where the youth is at. He's always looking for a championship. He's always looking for a champion. Well, guess what? He already knows where the champions lie. They lie right here in the Skybox. But I got my guy. Coach Twilight. What's good with you, fella?
Get one of these, you get one of these, you'll get a lot of these, and Dak will never see none of those. So let's get him out.
You already know. You heard the laugh, you heard the giggles. You already know who it is. It's the Dallas Cowboy fan. Dallas Cowboy realist. My guy. When I point to the veins, because he runs through my veins, y'all. He runs through my veins. My guy. Daryl T. What's good with you, fella?
What's good? Waiting on to see that boy Travis Hunter bring it back. Yeah, I mean.
You already know. I've got the coldest candle in the game. It's me, Michael C, the source of life over the mic. You already know what you need to do. Hit that like and subscribe button because you know it's only free 99. Let's get right into it. We're talking about A.J. Brown. We're talking about Jalen Hurts. We're talking about, will this little fat derail our season? Mama, you're back, baby. I need to ask you this question. I want to ask you a question. Is there a problem with what A.J. Brown said in the post-game interview?
It's not TO material. I mean, the guy wants the ball. I mean, he's your primary receiver. He wants the ball. And yeah, Saquon is having a record-breaking year. He already broke the Eagles' season rushing record. But at the same time, you didn't bring him in from Tennessee to just go out there and run routes and, divert defenses so that Saquon can go out and average 150, 160 yards a game. You got to get the guy the ball. And, that does start with Jalen. And, you look over the course of the last 3 years, Jalen is not reading those defenses as well as he should. He's holding on to the ball too long. It almost seems like, give me the ball. I want to prove what I can do, and the thing is, you have other players around you. You got to get the ball to those that need it.
I agree with that. Now, Coach, we were, when we got into this A.J. Brown and the Jalen Hurts, there was a third entity that came in, BG, Brandon Graham. And it seemed like he made the matters a little bit worse. He said too much. What you think?
I don't know the whole story, but I know that one is trying. And I mean, 11 could be a little better with how he responds to things. And they was friends before this. It's like, man, but things have changed. And I understand that because life happens. But it's the business side that we have to make sure that we don't let the personal get in the way of the business. And that's where we got to do better as right now, because we know it's an issue. Everybody's seeing some things, but we need to be able to talk things out as men. You know what I'm saying? And
Well, let me say it this way. If it ain't the Eagles, it's not drama. If it ain't drama, you can best believe it's not the Eagles. And this is one of the things we discussed early in the year about the Eagles. First, it was Jalen and the coach. Now it's Jalen and the running and the receiver. Let me say this. I like Jalen Hurts. Nice guy. I call him the Donovan McNabb reject. Now, with that being said, did Donovan win Super Bowls? No. He got into a lot of championships, NFC championships. Got into the Super Bowl just close. If you're not taking care first of your receiver, because that's why you're a quarterback, you're going to have turmoil in your locker room. Your receiver is supposed to be a diva. You're supposed to be the leader and calm the diva down.
Right.
You don't have leadership quality, so that's number 3 that comes at me with Jalen. Then you don't listen to your coach. There's 4 reasons why he will never see none of these rings on none of these fingers. I like him, great person, but he doesn't possess leadership, and not doing that, you can't control your locker room. So whatever that man said, Jalen earned it.
Let me ask you, Daryl, do you think that this hinders Saquon, Barkley, and the offensive line and their record-setting year this year?
No, I mean, at the end of the day, it is like a kink in the armor, but I mean, there's a lot more people on that roster. There's a bigger picture. I think the leadership of the whole locker room probably needs to get together. Maybe one of those players-only meetings where you can, like, you know what I mean, kind of hash it out. I heard Ray Allen and Rondo had to get into a little boxing match one time, get a little blows in. You know what I'm saying? But like, I think this is just getting blown a lot bigger than what it is, because people wanted this to happen. So the smallest like inkling of it happen is going to get like a lot bigger, but losses can make this look even bigger than it is. Like this game this weekend is real big for them. You know what I mean? They got to win it, not only for like record wise and playoff home games, but like for like team morale. It's probably the biggest game of the year for them coming up. Little rivalry. 1965, last time it happened. Remember that?
Well, like looking at the way this thing is looking right now, have you ever been in that relationship when you know you were right, and when you knew you were right, you stood on business, and just being right ruined that relationship? I think that's what's going on right now with AJ Brown.
There's a difference between being right and being happy. That's not. Sometimes it's not the same.
Interesting. So with that win against Carolina, Mamba, why was there so much negative body language then?
With what?
With the Eagles.
Because I think a lot of people picked that to be a trap game for them. I think a lot of people expected okay, let me rewind. I think there were people that saw that as a trap game. There were people that saw that game where they needed to blow them out by 40 points like Washington did. But this is not the same Carolina team that Washington played, 6 weeks ago? This is a Carolina team that has stuck with top teams in the NFL who are in the playoff picture. You know, I mean, they took Kansas City, down to the final wire and lost by 3. So, Carolina's for real. They're just not there yet. That coach has something going on. In that game, Philly left a lot of single high coverage, and that receiver, I don't want to butcher his name, Garrett. I mean, he looked good. I mean, he catches that ball, we lose. I mean, a lot of people, hey, you guys got lucky, but that's the NFL. You get lucky all the time. There was, I don't think it's at this stage of the game where Buddy Ryan used to use the defense versus the offense, but Philly's defense is what's keeping them winning. It's not the offense. It's the defense that's winning it. I mean, Philly's defense this year right now is reminiscent of the 91 Philadelphia Eagles. It really is, minus Reggie White, Jerome Brown, and those guys. But when you look at Jalen Carter and what he's doing, how he's blowing up that backfield, he's taking on 2-3 blockers. He's being held every time. I mean, wow. So I think there's some disgruntled, behavior because of the fact that it starts with QB1. And QB1, like Coach said, needs to be a leader. He needs to get his head out of his, he needs to go. I need to do better. I need to get rid of the ball quicker. I need to see AJ and go, Diva, I got you, and he's not doing that.
So I want to ask you, Coach, do you think that we're on the brink of another epic collapse?
It's the Eagles. Let me say it this way. If Jalen don't grab that locker room and drag them into fame, yeah, because Detroit's not playing. Detroit has bought into their coach's mentality. Absolutely. And losing is not an option. I've seen it. I just watched it with St. Joe's Prep. Oh, shout out to Marvin Harrison. I got to say hi to him. And it's on. Detroit's coming. And the game's going to be in Detroit, not in Philadelphia. It's going to be in Detroit. So it's going to be kind of painful.
Interesting, because I'm looking at this. I don't think it was going to be another collapse. And I think Mamba put the nail. He hit the nail right on the head. I'm telling you now, the reason why this is not going to be another collapse is because of that defense. Last year's defense was 32 in the league. This year's in the top 5. That's the difference.
But can I say this? And Coach makes an excellent point. That Detroit team is depleted 7 guys on their defense, and they step up each and every week and win.
Next man up. That's the mentality.
But check this out. They're not blowing people out, though. They're 15 on the IR. They're not blowing people out. So don't get me wrong. They are impressive. But honestly, we travel.
Yeah, we do.
We travel. I don't mean to interrupt. So I'm not really that scared of being in Detroit. But
I'm not.
Detroit,
I don't mean to
Detroit's
interrupt.
scared to come into Philly.
That's good. But see, you don't have to blow people out to win a game. It takes 1 point.
But here's the thing.
The lines of 2 games.
Now everybody's talking about what happened, about what A.J. Brown said. If A.J. Brown didn't say anything, I think people still would have been talking about, you guys should have won that. They would have talked about if he would have caught, if they would have got that catch, they would have won, ... But not a lot of people say that about, they didn't say anything about what was about to happen to them when they almost lost to Chicago. Not one word came out about Chicago. But what did come out was the narrative. They fired the head coach of the Chicago Bears because he mismanaged the game wrong. But let's say he didn't mismanage the game wrong. Let's just say that they just missed the field goal. They're not going to be talking as much, but they're talking a lot when it comes to the Eagles.
Because leaders lead. I don't mean to interrupt. Dan, let me say it. The head coach for Detroit will not let it go to that length. The head coach of the Eagles and the quarterback of the Eagles will let it go to that length because that's what they do. They don't have the leadership. They don't have that command in the locker room. You need the command in the locker room to cut the chatter. Jimmy Johnson had it. Sorry.
That's exactly what it was. It's easy and simple. How big is the media in Detroit?
Yeah, exactly.
How big is the media in Philadelphia?
Oh, it's equal.
No, it's not. Not even stop it.
Not even close.
Stop
not
it.
Even close.
It is not.
WIP.
Not even a little bit.
WIP rules the airwaves in Philadelphia.
You say You go to
But see, that's just it. You're in
California,
Philly.
yeah. It is not that. That media
Yeah.
is not as big as it is in Philadelphia. You can do the littlest thing in Philadelphia, it will blow up like that. You do the littlest thing in Detroit, it will flicker. It will not.
Because Detroit
blow
ain't
up.
won in a long time. Now you're
Bro,
getting to start to understand the meaning of winning. You got a head coach that believes in winning. So now you're starting to get that trend. In Philly, the expectation is to win. If you're going to throw a snowball at Santa, you better win.
You better knock him out.
Thank you.
You better knock him out. And the other thing is this too. You look at the Philadelphia media market, it's controlled by WIP. Whatever WIP appears on everything throughout Philadelphia. And the other thing is too, Philly goes across 3 different states. Keep that in mind. 3 different states. New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania make up the Philadelphia market. I'll say it again. Philadelphia, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania are the 3 mass media markets for Philadelphia. Okay. Fans come from South Jersey all the way almost 90 miles north into North Jersey to come see Philadelphia play. Okay. We're talking a huge market. And the minute WIP even gets a hint or a sniff of a rumor, Brandon Graham, I'm going to tell you right now, someone should have taken his ass behind the woodshed for what he said. Because if he was truly the Walter Payton representative of the Philadelphia Eagles, he would have never opened his mouth. So what Brandon Graham was doing was preparing for his media career that comes after football, which might be happening this upcoming year. That's how I was.
So let me ask you this, Daryl. What do you think AJ Brown could have done to handle the situation better?
Bro, just not like not put any fuel to the fire. I mean, at the end of the day, here's the big difference between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions. If you give me a blind reveal of Jared Goff's voice, Gibbs's voice, Montgomery's voice, St. Brown's voice, Laporta's voice, don't know what any of them sound like. But give me Dan Campbell's voice. I know that bull like the back of my hand because that's the representative of Detroit. Nick Sirianni, I don't really listen to that bull's voice. It hurts his voice or Saquon's voice or AJ's voice. It's like there is no one uniform voice to that team. There's one uniform voice in Detroit. That's it. If St. Brown, if you could put a St. Brown interview on right now and you didn't know it was St. Brown, no one would be like, oh, yeah, that's St. Brown. Because the boy don't do nothing to put himself in. They got one goal over there. One goal, one voice, one trophy. That's it. Oh, St. Brown got 8 fantasy points this week? Whatever. Don't care. You know what I mean? Not important to me.
Well,
And that's the difference.
That's true.
Let me ask you, Mamba, what's the solution to the situation?
Nick Sirianni needs to grow up still. I mean, he's improved since the Cleveland game. He's still not there yet. Okay. He's not even 1/3 of the shadow of Dan Campbell. I mean, Dan Campbell learned last year, hey, I can't play, what is that? A riverboat gambler every time. I have to do what's in the best interest of my team. I got to keep my team focused. He's doing that. Like Daryl said, those players, yeah, it's great to have that unique personality, that person that can stand out, but all those guys are dialed in. They're constantly dialed in. They're ready to play. I give a lot of credit to that Detroit team. But for Philadelphia, they have got to, I mean, it starts with ownership, man. I mean, I think people forget too. The Detroit Lions are owned by the Ford family. Ford, okay? America's #1 car manufacturer. So when you look at it from that perspective, Ford is saying, don't make mistakes, or guess what? You're out. And Lurie is like, he only comes down hard when people screw up. I mean, look at Andy Reid, how long he was in Philly, long past where he needed to be. Andy just lost touch with the team, lost touch with the city, and he was just, Lurie kept him there and kept him there and kept him there. This is a business, man, and like I think it was Coach that said it before. In Philly, it's to win. Detroit, they've never won anything, period.
So now looking at this Sunday, Coach, how can this team get over this distraction and win this big game?
You ready? You may have to censor this. Tell Sirianni to drop his balls and grow up and be a man. And take leadership of his team because they pay him the money to do it.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a tough answer.
Stop riding the ride, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. You pick the ride and you tell the kids to get in the back.
yeah, man.
Be the man.
Thank you.
Belichick doesn't let that stuff happen. Lombardi didn't let that stuff happen.
Jimmy Johnson didn't let it happen.
Nope. I mean, let's go through the guys who have won a Super Bowl, and we can all agree to disagree. John Gruden won a Super Bowl. You think John Gruden would tolerate that? Come on.
No.
Come on. I
John
mean,
Gruden won a Super Bowl with Tony Dungy's boys. He didn't win no Super Bowl with his boys.
he beat Philadelphia in the NFC Championship game in the so-called
Yeah.
And then turned around and how dumb can the LA at that point, the LA Raiders be? They sat back and ran the same daggone plays that man was drawing up for him. That was
Okay.
Bill Callahan was the head coach.
Wait,
That should
if
tell
you
you
want to go there, Mike Tomlin won a Super Bowl off whose credentials then?
Yeah, it's not that easy.
Ooh, you gonna go there?
All right.
I am going to go
cannot
there.
speak for that, but
I am going to go there.
Mike Tomlin.
Tomlin won it off.
We're talking an organization that had only 3 head coaches all throughout the history of the team.
So you're telling me Tomlin's
That's different.
Super Bowl was not a credit to Bill?
Oh, Bill won one.
Bill did win one, and he walked away and left him with the keys to the freaking Cadillac. Dude.
But he didn't.
But he had to win that.
He didn't win it the following year.
Bro,
Gruden,
and
what did
yeah,
Gruden do? Gruden still lost and then stepped in and won. Come on.
Nah. No, they didn't.
Yeah, go back and look at it.
We took the Raiders to the title game and then went back and then they went again. No, they didn't do 2 years. No, they didn't. They didn't go 2 years in a row. No, they didn't go 2 years in a row.
I'm just telling you.
Oh, no. All right. No. They lost to Baltimore. That's right. They lost to Baltimore.
Who did? No, they didn't.
And they were the best team in the league. And
That's not true.
That team should have been in the Super Bowl, but Baltimore derailed that. They were the number 1 defense in the league at that point. They played lights out. But at the end of the day, that I don't really like to compare those two because
Again, we're going off an organization that just only had 3 head coaches throughout their whole team history. We're going with, come on, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay had enough said. I'm not even going down that road.
But Tony Dungy couldn't get it done.
Ooh, yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
get it done.
I guarantee you, in the world of sports, there's plenty of sports that had good teams.
Dungy had to go to Indianapolis to finally get it done. Period.
All right.
I'm sorry, man. I'm just gonna say it as a realist.
That's real talk right there. That's real talk.
Know what I mean? This is no disrespect, but I'll even give this to Tomlin. Tomlin at least knows how to rally his players to say, let's go play ball. Tomlin takes on that leadership role. I know people bitch and complain about Tomlin, whatever. Tomlin is that 3rd coach in their history, and he always gets those players to play. And when even, Pickens, running his mouth, whatever, he still stands in front and says, this is not going to happen again. Seriously.
Right. That's true. That's true.
You see what I'm saying? That's my point.
That's true.
You want to win a Super Bowl, you've got to put the shit behind you and go out and play. The team is bigger than you, the person. And Jalen is always like, well, I got to do this and I got to do that. And we're getting better each and every week. Nah, son, you need to say, look, we are not executing and it starts with me. Woo! I'm playing with the ball too much in the pocket. I need to get rid of it.
These counts they set up for me, these 3-step drops, play action. I need to be better. Or guess what? Nick Saban was right about him.
You hear this?
Sound like we got a Dak Prescott part 2.
You heard the conversation. You hear the coldest panel in the game. You heard everything. Comment below. Coldest panel in the game. They're back. I miss my boys. If you have any thoughts, questions, or concerns, email us at the number one skybox at gmail.com. It's the boy, Mama. It's Coach Twilight. It's Daryl T. And it's me, Michael C. The source of life over the mic. I'm going to leave you with these 4 words. Now let's make it epic. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Dak
No
Prescott.
birds. No birds.
Did I say that out loud? Yeah, fire Dak Prescott.
Let's make this epic. You like this episode? Just think, are the Eagles the scariest team in the NFL?